I want to share a recipe I found by Gordon Ramsay to make an apple pie. But something very strange happened as I read it. I started speaking like him. This recipe is absolutely delicious. Caramelized apple pie. Not something to stick your... Start by preparing the caramelized apple filling. Mix the sugar, cinnamon, and nutmeg together. Peel, quarter, and core the apples. Then cut into thick chunks. Place in a bowl and sprinkle with the spiced sugar to coat. Cook the apples in 2 batches and melt the butter in a wide non-stick frying pan. Add half the apple chunks and fry over high heat until golden and caramelized around the edges, about 5 minutes. Transfer to a large bowl and then repeat the process with the other half of the apples and melt another knob of butter. Then let cool completely. Be sure to preheat the oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. Roll out about half the pastry onto a lightly floured surface to about 1/8 inch thickness. Overturn an 8-inch pie pan on top of the pastry and round out a rough circle slightly bigger than the pan. Line the pan with the pastry, lightly pressing down to remove any air pockets. Then trim off the excess pastry. Roll out the remaining pastry into another circle, again slightly larger than the pan for the top crust. Spoon the cooled apples evenly into the pie shell. Brush the rim of the bottom crust with a little water. With the excess dough, you want to flatten this back into a disc by rolling it. And then you can cut the strips using a blunt knife or perhaps a pizza wheel if you have one. Then you want to lay these strips on top of the pie filling. You want to lay about 4 or 5 depending on how thick you cut them. And then you add a perpendicular strip to the parallel ones that are laying, and then you weave them through. And brush the top of an egg wash to glaze. Bake until the crust is golden brown and crisp, 35 to 40 minutes. Let stand for 15 to 20 minutes before serving. If you want to make the sweet tart pastry, you need to have ingredients: a half a cup or 1 stick of unsalted butter, softened to room temperature. Temperature is quite important when you're baking, so make sure to pull the butter out of the fridge, you donkey. 7 tablespoons of sugar, 1 extra large egg, 1 3/4 cup of all-purpose flour. Preparation: place the butter and the sugar in a food processor and blitz until combined. Add the egg and blitz for another 30 seconds. Tip in the flour and process for a few more seconds until the dough just comes together. Be careful not to over-process or the dough will become tough. Add a tablespoon of cold water if the dough seems too dry. Knead lightly on a floured surface and shape into a flat disc. Wrap in plastic and refrigerate for 30 minutes before using. If you have any questions, please comment below. And as always, if you enjoyed, I'd be honored if you subscribe to my channel. Stay tuned for more recipes and adventures. Thank you. Much obliged. Very much obliged indeed. Thank you.